Welcome everybody. This is Asks That Convert using your website and action button to drive action. This is the third in the Ask, Act, Repeat series. We got two more to go, so we'd love to see you at the fourth and fifth. We're gonna learn how to build deeper relationships with supporters online. Use your website and action button and tools like it to meet folks where they are. Kind of speak to your supporters throughout the supporter journey. And we'll check out some real examples and techniques for turning curiosity into action from your supporters and beyond. I am Taylor Green. I am a content marketing specialist here at NationBuilder. I've been here about 3 years and very into the storytelling aspect. I've kind of become a bit of an action button expert, so that's why I'm here. And I'm joined by my co-host Ryan.
Hello, I'm Ryan Van de Castian from Van CD Studios. We're a Nation Builder partner we're a digital agency that specializes in working with the people and organizations that protect the planet and make the world a better place to live. So whether it's designing and developing action-oriented websites using Nation Builder's tools or helping organizations conceptualize and execute effective digital strategies to help reach their goals, that's who we are and what we do. So excited to be here with you all today.
So, just as a kind of grounding overview, we wanted to speak a little bit about Nation Builder and Action Button, give you an idea of what those are. Nation Builder is an integrated system, CRM with volunteer recruitment, management, website, built-in events management, some advocacy tools in the form of Action Button and petition pages, full communication suite with email and text, fundraising, donations, and more. It's an all-in-one connected system. But today we're going to be focusing on the website builder and the action button actions here.
So before diving into talking about all the tools available at your disposal to build and maintain a website, I'd like to take a moment just to pause and reflect on, okay, why is it that we need a website? Just to kind of help set the context and frame the tools that we're going to be looking at today together. So in my opinion, websites serve two major goals. So the first one is that it really acts as your digital front porch. It's your accessible from anywhere, very welcoming, always open home base. It's a space to tell your stories the way that you want to. It's a tool that you can use to shape the first impression someone may have of your organization and help build trust and credibility with your audience. And ultimately, it's a medium that you have a lot of control over. So thinking about all the different ways that you can get your message out there these days with all the various social media platforms, etc. With those other tools like social media, for example, you're always subject to algorithms, changing policies, changing cultures on the different platforms as well. Whereas a medium is, your website is really a medium that you control the message. The next goal that your website can help you accomplish is that it can really act as your tool your engine for growth and engagement. So, the tools available with Nation Builder websites, it helps you move supporters along the ladder of engagement. So moving them from being curious to engaged to committed to your cause and to the issues that you care about and your organization cares about. So what is the ladder of engagement? You may have seen this if you joined some of our other webinars, Nation Builder's other webinars in this series. It's been mentioned a couple of times, and there's a couple different ways and sort of variations of the ladder of engagement, but ultimately it's a framework to conceptualize and measure how engaged your supporters are. So at the lower rungs of the ladder, there are actions and ways that people may engage with your organization that take just a little bit of effort. And then as you move up the ladder, it takes more effort as you go. So, for example, moving people from prospects who may be sort of the public at large that don't know who you are yet, or observers or followers, so people that may have heard of you, may have been to your websites, or maybe even be following you on social media, moving them to become supporters and taking more action that takes a little bit more commitment from them. So, for example, moving someone from a follower to a subscriber, where you're asking for their personal information, like email, so that you can follow up with them. And at that stage, they're really making a commitment to say, yes, hey, I want to hear from your organization and what it is that you're doing. And then even further up the ladder to become participants and advocates, so people that attend events or people that are sending messages to the elected officials. And then at the top of the ladder, then you have your leaders and owners, so people that are donating to your organization, organizing on your behalf, maybe even contributing content. So today, we're going to be really looking at all the tools that are available through NationBuilder and ActionButton, and sort of following along the ladder and how these tools can be used to move people along, and look at some examples too.
So yeah, to move folks along that ladder, there's kind of two different types of tools. One of them is kind of the first touch, low commitment, kind of going from uh, non-awareness to awareness, or awareness to, a slight small lift. Call that like the attraction side, and that's what Action Button is. It's designed to capture attention. It's eye-catching. Uh, Kind of, it's the focus is on growing your base and kind of getting more people aware of your brand. The other type is like a long-term relationship management type tool. That's your CRMs. Those are your automated email workflows, audience segmentation tools to kind of understand where on the ladder your folks are and what kind of touch they need. And yeah, integrated platforms with your fundraising tools, your events, email, that sort of thing. So Action Button, it can function in a few different parts of that ladder of engagement, but one of the ways it works best is this first contact, this first touch moment. You see here, there's an example about creating dog parks in the city. These buttons don't collect personally identifiable information, so basically this is the lowest possible commitment you could ask someone to do, is just, a binary slider to share their opinion. It's very low commitment. It's more about your brand and name recognition, and to have folks start thinking about your organization than it is, asking for any heavier lift than that.
One of the reasons we kind of bifurcate Action Button versus Nation Builder tools is just on the technical side here. So Action Buttons are kind of neat because they're actually built outside of Nation Builder, and then you take that widget and you can embed them on any page on your website, whether it's a basic page, a blog page, or anything like that. You can build these Action Buttons and embed them anywhere on your Nation Builder website. And then Nation Builder itself, when you go to create your Nation Builder website, it is a page template-based system. So there's about maybe 2 dozen or so different types of page templates that are available to you when you create a NationBuilder website, that you can create those pages, and they all do something a little bit different. And a lot of them are action-oriented pages. So there are some action tools built right into NationBuilder available to you as well. So a lot of those are kind of start to fall in the middle of that ladder of engagement, sort of the mid-tier engagement tools. So some examples of that would be sign-up pages, so where you can start asking people to subscribe for updates from your organization. We have things like calendar pages and event pages. So we see example of that here on the left from an organization called Mobilize Recovery. So they host a lot of events across the country every year, and they have an interactive map that populates automatically when you create event pages. And on those individual event pages, you can get people to RSVP, giving you your info as they're doing that. You have petition pages available. So if there's a particular issue or campaign, the campaign issue that you're focusing on, you can create petition pages and ask people to say, add their name to the petition in support of that issue or that solution to an issue. So yeah, these are some of the examples of action-oriented pages, sort of in that mid-tier of engagement that you can create typically within a few clicks when working with Nation Builder websites.
Yeah, so moving up that ladder of engagement, once you have a solid base of supporters, you kind of want to get them to the next level, right? You want them to become advocates, you want them to become donors, just more engaged with your organization, attending events, that sort of thing. And so Action Button has a couple buttons that are more in the advocacy space, that are that getting folks to that next level of engagement with you. And right here, this is a this is a custom email target button. This is from an organization called Beagle Freedom Project. They're all about getting animals out of lab testing. And so you see an example here of what your supporter would see is a form letter that you can edit, that you can add smart fields to. This is a direct pathway to have folks influence public policy in your name. The emails come from the supporter's email address, and then it says on behalf of your organization. Yeah, these types of tools, these advocacy tools, they're for real-time targeting. They increase relevance. They boost conversion because people want to help. They want to, contribute to the mission. And it's not too big of a lift, right? You add your name and email address. You may, work on the email a little bit, and your supporter might change it to be a little bit more, personalized to them. But these are really effective. Beagle Freedom Project, got I think over 3,000 emails sent from this button. This was used in context in their website. They drove people to it through social and through email. And yeah, it's they got the lab shut down and rescued the dog's name was Cammy. So it was a successful advocacy run. And yeah, so this is kind of one example of these advocacy tools, custom email target. Another example here is a contact your lawmaker button. This is from an organization called Mobilize Recovery. Ryan's going to talk about them in a little bit as well. So contact your lawmakers available in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and the US, from the federal to the state to the district level. And basically how it works is, you put uh, the issue and, a form email for folks to interact with, and they input their address. And so it automatically selects the lawmaker that's appropriate for them. You can also geolocate yourself, or geo restrict yourself. So if you have a issue that only takes place in a certain state or a certain district, um, people outside that district wouldn't have the ability to use the button. So you can get really targeted with this type of stuff. Um, yeah, so Mobilize Recovery is like a Nevada-based advocacy org. And essentially, the supporter enters their info. You don't need any additional info from you. So right here, I'm based in Georgia, so these are my senators and state reps. And then you get the form letter on the next screen, edit it as you see fit as the supporter. And then one of the great things is you also get, if you're using NationBuilder or their CRM, you get a lot of data from folks that are interacting with these buttons. You get tags, you get automatic constituent representative relationships. You can get folks started on automations or assigned point people. So once people get to this advocate level, that you can really start to be really informed about how they interact with your organization and how you want to move them along that ladder of engagement.
Thinking back to that letter of engagement, so now we're kind of reaching the top of the tier, where we have the most engaged folks and the people that are most committed and ready to kind of take those higher level actions that take a little more commitment. So, what tools are available in NationBuilder? We have the ability to create donation pages, so you can spin up donation pages where you can accept one-time donations. You can accept recurring, both monthly and annual recurring donations. If you're a membership-based organization and you sell memberships to be a part of your organization, then that's something that you can do in NationBuilder as well. So you can create membership pages where people can go and sign up to become a member and pay their monthly or annual membership dues. For the folks that are really keen to take part in your organization and help the cause, you can create personal fundraising pages. So if, let's say you want to enable the ability for your top supporters to start fundraising for your organization themselves, you can set them up with personal fundraising pages. So let's say my birthday's coming up and I want to, instead of, asking for gifts from my friends and family, I want them to contribute to an organization instead. We see a little example of that here on the left, just a little preview of a personal fundraising page for Mobilize Recovery. Ryan Hampton, one of their supporters and actually their co-founder, set up a personal fundraising page for his birthday when he was turning 45 and aimed to raise $4,500 from his friends and family and asked them to go to his fundraising page and donate through that page. Um, you can also have user-generated events on NationBuilder website, so you can add the ability for people to come and create events and sign up and host events and have that all publicly available on your website and create event pages themselves. Mobilize Recovery is actually another great example. I think it's the third year that they're running it now. Every fall, they run a campaign called Day of Service, where they encourage people in their communities across the country to host day of service events where they're doing something in their community to give back. So whether it's a park cleanup or a clothing drive or distributing recovery resources in their community, they're asking their supporters to say, hey, organize this yourselves. Here's a couple of resources to do that. Sign up on our website and let us know what the event is and if you want people to RSVP. And they've had a ton of success. They've had hundreds of events happening, grassroots organized events happening across the country each year. So for those that are really committed to taking part in your organization, there's tons of tools available to enable them to do that through NationBuilder.
So just kind of a little review and like overview of the ladder of engagement and what different tools can fit in where. Kind of moving from left to right, you've got the observers slash followers. These are folks that are kind of just becoming aware of your organization. Those action button, first touch buttons that I mentioned earlier, those are great here. And we're talking about Action Button and Nation Builder here, but really it's any tool that kind of gets folks in the door and any tool that manages your relationships. Um, yeah, so in the mid-tier engagement, you've got a bunch of Nation Builder page types like signups, petitions, surveys. And then on the Action Button side, there's a few buttons that work really well there too. Opinion button is one where you can have folks fill in kind of a long form opinion on a subject. Yeah, and moving up to the high tier, events, volunteers, and endorsements on the Nation Builder side, and then those contact your lawmaker and custom email target buttons on the action button side. And then beyond that, that's where you're getting your, um, your most devoted advocates, your event attendees, your volunteers, your big donors, that sort of thing.
Next, we're going to run through an example here that really illustrates how some of these tools can be used together in real life campaigns. So this is a new organization based in British Columbia in Canada that just launched. And they're a nonprofit organization that is focusing on reforming municipal politics in the province of British Columbia, going from what is now currently sort of an at-large voting system where everyone in the city votes for all the city councilors and all the mayors to a more local based election electoral system where for example you have maybe neighborhoods or wards within a city where you locally vote for your representative there that then would become part of your city government. So the idea is to fix City Hall, and we've got their homepage here. So their homepage is a Nation Builder sign up page where we're asking them to, if we can count them in, if they want to join the fight, and essentially asking them to sign up for updates here, asking for a bit of personal information. Got the rest of the homepage here talking about their mission and the issue and all that kind of stuff. But what we're going to focus on, of course, is the actions. And so I'm going to take this first level action here just by giving my personal information here. So at a minimum, typically we ask for a name and email. In a lot of instances, we also ask for mobile number and postal code or zip code. And there's some strategy behind that. These aren't required fields, but we do ask for this information because if we have people's mobile numbers, then we can also send them text blasts after the fact. So that's something else you can do with Nation Builder. And then if we have postal code or zip code, that's usually enough data for Nation Builder to start geolocating somebody based on where they live. So we're going to take a look quickly at sort of the profiles in a little bit here that are generated when people take action on your website and what happens behind the scenes. But that's why we capture some of this information on the front end here. So It's in. So yes, I'm in. So one of the things you can do with Nation Builder websites is you can chain actions together too. So that first level action there was just asking people to sign up. And now I've entered into a bit of an engagement funnel where being asked immediately while I'm hooked here to take the next action. So one of the neat things about Nation Builder websites too is that some of the pages can recognize who you are after you've taken action. So you can see here I'm being asked to now sign the official petition. It's going to ask for a little bit more detailed information, like my full address, which is one of the requirements for an official petition in the province of British Columbia, and my signature here, same thing, was one of the requirements to capture that info as an official petition. So it's a little bit higher commitment here because we're getting more detailed information from the supporter, but I'm not being asked to enter my name and email again because it's recognizing I just did that. It knows who I am. So let's do that. Here's my signature. There we go. So I'm going to sign the petition. And then we're going to go up to the next rung. So we're first I'm being prompted here to share on social media. So a lot of Nation Builder's action pages have automatically asked people to share on social media after they take action. You can disable that if something that you don't want to happen, but just to make it easy by default, when you spin up a petition page, for example, it's got a social sharing prompt built in, and you can set some custom text here that you want people to share on social media. And there are various platform options in terms of where you're asking people to share. So I could share this on my social networks. I'm going to skip this step for now and focus on this piece here. So I've signed up, I've signed the petition, and now we're asking people to use an action button to contact their member of the Legislative Assembly, so their MLA. So that's sort of like the state representative or provincial representative in British Columbia. So I can do that here. I'm just going to ask me to confirm my address again here, just to make sure I'm getting matched with the right person. Go. Oh, that's not actually right. It's 0. It's still in there. So that's my MLA. It's saying, hey, is this right? Yes, that's correct. And now it's asking me to send this pre-written letter. I can check out the letter here. I can customize it if I'd like. Helpful if I type. Yep. So I'm going to send off my message to Terry Young, my representative, and I could share again here if I'd like. I'm going to continue on to the next step, where we're asking people to donate. So in this example, we've really kind of conceptualized that funnel to drive people along the ladder of engagement by chaining actions together. And yeah, so that's a real life example of how some of these tools can be put into action. So, okay, thinking back to that fixed city hall example that we walked through. So I just wanted to kind of think back to all the other tools that are available in Nation Builder as well. And ultimately, the website can act as sort of the trigger that sets people up to for other things to start happening behind the scenes. So when I signed up on the fixed city hall petition, one of the things that happened is that I was immediately sent an auto response email saying, hey, thanks for signing the petition. Here's a couple other ways that you can get involved. And then I've also been added to an automation, which is essentially a drip email series that where I will automatically start getting a number of emails over the next 2 weeks, encouraging me to level up my engagement to the next level. So it's all personalized and it can all be targeted and segmented based on how people have engaged so far. So for example, if I only signed up on that first page and I didn't sign the petition, the emails that I would get over the next couple of weeks would ask me to take that next step of signing the petition. Once I've done that, if I haven't haven't contacted my MLA next, then it's going to automatically encourage me to take that next step of contacting my MLA, so on and so forth. So it really, you can set up these sort of set it and forget it engagement series so that people will continue to stay engaged with the campaign and be reminded that they took action and ask them to take that next step. All without, once it's sort of set up, you can kind of leave it and let it run its course.
Yeah, that's great. And Nation Builder and any CRM worth its salt is going to have some kind of people database, some kind of place where you can check out individual supporters and see where they are on their journey. See, tags, uh, other kind of rich data about them. You can segment and target based on geography or engagement activity or interests or constituents, yeah, region, anything like that. Uh, you know, and you could also build relationships at scale. So kind of see at a glance how many people are in each category and kind of decide how to segment your communications or site based on that. Well, thanks everybody. We do have two more webinars in this series coming up. We've got Smarter Fundraising Asks coming up next Wednesday, Tools and Tactics to Maximize Donations. That's with Rachel and Riley. And then our very own Erica Reese and Sarah Gaylord will be doing a multi-channel mastery to kind of finish out, to talk about kind of how to bring all of these tools together to yeah, coordinate your asks across all the channels. So yeah, hope to see y'all there, and thanks for coming.